especially in Lagos. Right now, joining me live to look at this matter is a number one person of NLC in Lagos State. That's the NLC chairman right here in Lagos. No other person than Comrade Fumi Sase. Comrade, good morning and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning.
And also joining us live is a university lecturer, a public affairs commentator, and a lawyer. No other person than Barrister Deji Olaleye. Barrister, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are we today?
Yes, so we're fine. This matter before us right now is a matter of urgency. And as we get ready for May Day, the Workers' Day, in less than 24 hours, Nigerians seems to wonder. Nigerians seems to be in a shock. Why this treatment? Why things are like this, especially when it has to do with expatriate. Let me come to Comrade. How do we strike the balance between attracting foreign investment and prioritizing human capital development to benefit Nigerians? There are a lot of unfair practices when it comes to labor in Nigeria. How do we strike this balance?
Thank you very much. And good morning to all Nigerians listening. Though Nigeria government will source for investors, foreign investors, to come and invest in Nigeria. But Nigerian government need to profile those investors and the kind of businesses they are coming to Nigeria to come and do. Is it legal business? Is it illegal business? And they also, all the agencies of government that needs to do one thing or the other to ensure that they conform and comply with the laws and regulations of Nigeria. They have to be on guard. They don't need to go into slumber, or they don't need to compromise the standard of this country. We have a set of law, and our law should be above everybody. Our law should be the guideline to regulate the activities of foreign investors and even all the local and national investors in Nigeria, multinational companies. We have monitoring agencies that are supposed to ensure that all the activities that will bring in expatriates, expats into the country, we monitor and we ensure that they conform with our rules and regulations in the country. But what do we have today? It's like government agencies have abdicated their responsibilities. It's like government agencies, they have compromised their stance and their standards by allowing impunity to continue to happen in the country. Where you see, even in a country, in a company, in this country, they bring in people from their country as expatriates, whereas what is their work? Their work is to come and serve tea or coffee in the office. Can we imagine? They bring in laborers as expatriates into the country. And that is not the rule for the multinationals to bring expatriates in the country. In the area of trade, where we have Nigerians that can provide that kind of services, you don't bring people to come and do that work. It is in technical areas where we need people who can, function and also transfer knowledge to Nigerians. When you are bringing in someone as an expatriate in all those technical areas, at least we should set some Nigerians to, like 2 or more, to understudy that person for a period of time, and you transfer that knowledge to them in no time. And there are rules too, that when you are bringing in an expatriate, you set the rules for years that they can, actually stay in this country, subject to. Hello?
Yes, I have to come in here, Comrade. It seems to be like these expatriates don't even know the rule. It seems to be like they don't even have a guideline for how to operate in Nigeria. I must tell you, just recently we saw on the news where the FCCPC shut down a Chinese supermarket in Abuja because they refused to allow Nigerians to enter. We've seen even in Lagos here. I don't know how NLC operates in regards to these issues, where they employ Nigerians, and it seems to be like they don't even allow us to breathe. They treat Nigerians in organizations like they're rags. Sometimes, just like you said, places that Nigerians are ought to occupy, they bring in these people. And I can tell you for free that somewhere in Ibejuleki, when someone was telling me that they brought in an expatriate, and then we are trying to figure out what to do, how to go about it. This man doesn't even understand. He had to bring someone who doesn't have papers. He bring his friend, a colleague who doesn't even have papers to come operate in the country, and then they begin to do on hide and seek and all of this. What is the NLC doing in regards to protecting Nigerian labor in the country?
Thank you very much. Nigerian Labour Congress has been doing so much when people give us information. Let me cite like 2 examples.
Okay.
There was a time, some few years back, when we got an information or a complaint from one of the workers from a company. I don't want to mention the name, but if you want me to mention, I can. So we swing into action, and we went to that company. The report was that a Chinese national in the company used his leg to kick one of the workers in his private part, and almost, and that one caused pains to that Nigerian national in his private part. So we took it up and we went to that company. NSC went there, and then we intervened. And we later find out that this guy does not even have the prerequisite qualification for him to come to Nigeria. And we also asked them, which kind of job is this guy doing? When we find out, we later did our own due diligence about that particular guy. And we find out that from his country, where he came from, he was having tea in his country, in a bar. And they brought him into Nigeria as an expert. So we lay complaints, not only that we told that company that we don't want to see that guy in Nigeria again, we also wrote to immigration. We wrote to immigration to, intervene and get that guy out of the country, because he was not even having the documents and the paper for him to continue to stay in Nigeria. So, and from there, it was the NLC wake-up call to Nigerian Immigration Services and the custom. We also wrote the custom that this is your own area, this is your profit. Immigration, you have to profile, because they are under the Ministry of Interior, and that is their own work. All the documents and documentation of expatriate has to be with the Ministry of Interior. I think through the Immigration Services, and they need to be renewing it. If they allow them to come in for the first period of 3 years, before that 3 years is over, they must have a database. If you don't have a database, if you don't have a means of how to get through to these people, you must know their destination when they come into the country. You must have their full details, who owns them, which company employs them, who is bringing them. But most of the time, they come in through the back door or through illegal processes, and they allow them to come in. I don't know why our agencies cannot hold the law of this country very well. Another instance that I will quote is when we got a report that a particular company, where they have some foreigners, they normally sexually violate our ladies who works on night duty, that they will be touching them inappropriately, they will be asking them for sex and gratifications. So we also swing into action and we went to shut down that company, and we demanded that that particular person, that particular expatriate that was mentioned, that normally violates, the rights of the workers, most especially ladies, we asked that he must be taken away from the company. And until we achieve that, we can also cite so many other examples. We've also had encounter with a company around my two sides, where they refused, the foreigners that owns the company, they refused us unionizing the workers. The workers were ready to be unionized. And the company continued to refuse and reject that the workers join the union. And, they were doing anti-labor activities in that company. And when we got the report, we went there, we shut down the company, not until when the area commander from Festa Police Station came in and intervened, inviting NLC and also inviting the company. The case is in court. We have so many cases.
Oh, wow.
We
Okay.
have so many cases of, these anti-labor activities against those who they call expatriates now. In fact, we have received so many reports, even from some very highly placed Nigerians who owns companies. And then they are now the kind of job that Nigerians could offer, the services they can offer, like common services like welding, like welders.
Yeah.
They are now bringing in foreigners as experts. What kind of expertise is that? When we have technocrats also as our own locals that can provide these services. But this man that owns this very large conglomerate of company is someone that people are always scared of. Maybe he's above law in Nigeria, but he has a very large, company here and there, scattered in Nigeria and in West African countries. But what they do is to exceed the expatriate quota by bringing in even people to come and weld in their facility, in their oil facility. And this is against the law of this country.
This is against the law.
Nigerian agencies, they should come in. It's not the job for only NSC. When we get this report, Nigerian agency, it starts from them. Why will you allow them to come in when you know that they are not providing any expatriate or they are not providing any technical services in Nigeria? So it also goes back to the government to do the needful, to profile, to have data, to monitor, to ensure fairness to Nigerians. Because as they are doing this, if it is true corruption that they have allowed the companies to engage these people to bring them in, definitely it will also affect Nigerians. It will affect Nigerians.
All right,
it will block their own chances of getting employment. And it will also block them from getting quality work.
Let me bring the barrister in this conversation right now. Barrister, are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
I mean, you've had the conversation with our NLC chairman right there in Lagos there, and you've experienced this. Last week, we had conversations in connection with these issues of the expatriate and labor, the way they treat the Nigerians. You've also traveled far and wide. You've visited countries. You've seen how these things work sometimes. But yeah, what does the law say in connection with expatriate and the way and labor? What does the law says?
Thank you very much. Essentially, Nigeria has almost all the laws that can regulate and take care of some of these issues that have been raised. The only problem is the enforcement of those laws by some of the agencies or interagencies or interdepartments who are concerned with the issue of expatriates and their operations in the country. Obviously, we have labor laws that are in place. Despite the labor laws that stipulate the working environment, the kind of jobs that people are supposed to do, and some of the legal issues that relates to employment, salaries, and wages, and all of that, you find that almost all the major multinationals, particularly from the Chinese, Indians, Lebanese, they don't comply with those laws of the country. They have no regard for the laws of Nigeria. As I'm talking with you, many of them still operate casualization. They make sure that all those who are Nigerians working in their companies do not have any term of employment of any kind, no condition of service. Most of them are working just for the pay that they give to them. And in many very sensitive positions, you find most of the workers don't even have any letter of appointment. And many of them are paid when they want to pay them. There are areas that they are owing so many of those who are working in those companies. No medical facility or benefit for them, no social security of any kind. And there are laws that govern all of this. It's really unfortunate that those laws are not enforced. And let me also say thank God for the Nigerian Labour Congress. I knew when Adams Oshomole was the president, there were a lot of this kind of constructive engagement of many of these companies, all over Nigeria. There are times that even the NSC had to picket some of those companies, to make sure that some of those laws are obeyed and all of that. But it's only on isolated cases. It's not even the function of the NSC to be pursuing some of these companies and ensure that the laws of Nigeria are enforced. It's not the function of the NSC, but the NSC have been doing a fantastic job in that area where they have information. It is actually the function of the Ministry of Employment, Labor and Productivity, with connivance with the Internal Affairs Ministry that is in control of the immigrations and the customs and some of these, and the police also. Okay. But unfortunately, all of them have abdicated their responsibility to Nigerians. And that's why we're having this challenge that we're having right now. Now, most of these foreign companies and some of these expatriates, as they are called, they are not really expatriates. If you are to x-ray their qualification and you try to find out the equivalent in Nigerian qualification, you discover that most of the people they parade as engineers are not engineers. Many of them are not even technicians. Okay. And just like the labor leader for Lagos have said earlier, you find that even most of the positions that are supposed to be occupied by Nigerians are taken over. They bring people from their own country. They see it as a way of generating employment for their own people. So you can imagine bringing all kinds of cleaners, all kinds of technicians into the country, paraded as engineers and all of that. So it's a big problem that we have in the country right now. And the federal government does not have any clearly defined labor laws or labor policy. Let me know. The laws are there, but the policies, industrial policies regarding how factories should operate and all of that. And that's why we're having this challenge. So all kinds of people come into the country under the guise of foreign investment to do a lot of havoc. And there's a need for us to nip it in the bud.
There is a need for us to nip this in the bud. Yes, Lagos, let's turn the mic to you right now. You can be part of this conversation. Share your experience. We have the labor leader right here, and you can call in and tell us your experience. Probably you've worked with an expatriate before. You've worked with a white man. And for those who don't really understand, you work with a white man before, and the way you've been treated, the way things are being done in the organization there. Just share with us how it went. We have a labor leader. We also have a university lecturer and a public affairs commentator who will definitely do justice to this conversation. Yes, call us on the 0705 690 0927 0705 690 0927. That's the number. Or reach us on 0802 502 7711 0802 502 7711. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Can you please turn down the volume on your radio set so we can hear you properly, please?
Can you hear me, sir?
Oh, no, we can't. Lastly, again, please off the radio. Please turn down the volume, or just put off the radio set.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, well, sorry, we can't. We have to discontinue with the call there. Please put off your radio set or move away from your radio set so we can hear you properly. Hello, good morning. All right, callers back 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. Or call us on the other line 0802 502 7711. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, hello, good morning.
Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone
Yes.
in the studio.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is James. I'm coming from Okoko.
All right, a teen from Okoko. Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. So I work with a China company. And can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, so I work with a China company. Being as a graduate, the same job of graduate, and I know how to drive. And I drove their mixer truck for 3 years. We consulted this Aradagu at Badagry. From there, after 2 years, I was transferred down to Trade Fair. Are you hearing me, sir?
Yes, go ahead. Make it.
So from Trade Fair, I worked 1 year. There was no appointment letter. At the end of the day, they said they don't like my work. That's how they just dropped me immediately after 3 years. There was no compensation. They just take me as a casual. Why I have my DSC certificate? Because there's no job in the country. That's how I end my job there. China company.
All right, thank you very much for that. I am sure the NLC president is taking note of this. Okay, yes, call us 0802 978 8003. 0802 978 8003. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Babatunde from Mushin.
This is who?
Babatunde from Mushin.
All right, Babatunde from Mushin. Go ahead, make your comment.
Well, good morning. The NSC chairman has already said it all. The problem with this so-called expatriates, or what they call it, is mostly the government agencies that they are on the payroll of most of these Chinese companies. Because when I work with one Lebanese company years back, we know when some government agents people, they will come at the end of the month. They know what these people are doing. Yet they will still come, collect their kickback, and they are the ones that normally do help them to perfect their fake documents. This Lebanese man will bring even young underage. Let me call it underage. That is not up to 18. They will bring them. I don't like to call them expatriates. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Hello. I don't want to call them because they are not expatriates. They are just warehouse supervisors. But in their book, they are expatriates. They are entitled to most of everything that we Nigerians are not entitled to. They don't allow us to be unionized. If you say want to form a union, they will say no. They will sack you. Once they get union, you are off. It's like a slave in our home country. And then they are like king. And this thing is, when they say government, it is we, the people, that are supposed to, the Nigerians are supposed to uphold the laws of the country that are the real problem. It is not even, these people, they know it's because the corruption in Nigeria, they are now using that. They are now capitalizing on our problem. Before you say,
Wait. This, are you saying it from experience? Like it's something you've witnessed, or you are saying it based on what you heard?
I work with a Lebanese company in Apapa. I don't just want to mention the name. Then, because the company is no more there now. But then, I'm telling you, then I was marketed here. What they do to we Nigerians, they don't care. they feel they can do anything and go away with it. That's what they do. And truly, it is not immigration officers, it is only the Nigerian labor country that they are afraid of. They don't want to be unionized. They just need, once the immigration man came, it's not that will be doing their paper for them. That is the truth.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, on the paper they may say there is an engineer. It's a lie.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Nigerians, keep your call coming in. Let's hear from you. Your experience with the expatriates, with the way you're being treated, with how labor is in your organization. 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. Or you can call us on 0802 502 7711. 0802 502 7711. Let me come to the NLC chairman right here. Comrade.
Yes, please.
I'm sure you've listened to the callers there, listened to Lagosians, Nigerians there in all of this. But I want to ask this important question: Do you NLC do patrol check to all of these organizations? Is it not necessary that the NLC probably do some routine check on all of these organizations to know, or probably to interface with this with the people on how things are going, especially those companies that has to do with expatriates?
Nigeria Labour Congress, when we have information, we process the information that is given to us. You know, we cannot just be going around to companies, entering the companies and asking for information. It is when those who are working in such companies and they don't have job satisfaction and they work.
I need to comment.
Hello?
So how about those who don't have knowledge about this? How about those who probably don't know how to reach out to the NLC in this?
You know, technology has made everything to be very simple and easy for us. Anybody can just Google. They can just type on their Google NLC, Nigeria Labour Congress office in Lagos. And they don't even need to know the number or whatever. They come to NLC Secretariat. They bring every time. There is no week we don't receive letters of, informations or letters of complaint from different people who are not even members of the union yet. In fact, people who have been sacked, people who, different issues that they bring to NLC. And we look for a way around the issues to resolve it or to intervene. And in fact, sometimes when we also have some disturbing issues, and we see it even on the social network space, we don't wait. When we saw a video of a lady, talking about Loma, we did not wait. We don't even know the lady. We don't know who to contact. That's the lady. But we wrote a letter, NLC and TUC in Lagos jointly. Nobody will know that we did this at the background. We wrote a joint letter to the governor of the state, telling him about this issue, that the government should come into this. So the Ministry of Establishment have to arrange a meeting between the labor and the Loma management, where we started the engagement and discussion around those issues that were raised by those Loma workers, those cleaners, those Loma workers. So it's also the same thing. When people came to give us information about a particular company making, I think, producing sugar around that Maitu side, and they came to tell us about, anti-labor activities, we swung into action. When we also saw a disturbing video on the internet, that's on the social space, around one company making biscuits around the Lassa Maja. immediately, that very moment that we saw that video, where we saw more than 300 workers on the road protesting. They did not have union. They don't allow them to join union. But they came out from right inside that company to protest and to fight for their rights. It was then that some people videoed them and sent them to Food Union and NLC. And jointly together, Food Union and NLC will mobilize immediately and we move to that company. Though the company, you know the way some of them, they normally do, they will lock their gate, you cannot come in, you don't have your member. When I told them that if you don't, engage us, open your gate so that let us dialogue on behalf of these workers. We represent them, even though they are not our members yet. Yeah. But there's a law now, because most of these companies, what they do is to engage people on contractual basis as contract workers. They engage, what do they call them? Resource
persons.
I will come back to that. To outsource companies. They recruit outsource companies.
So it lies that the power is not in their hands. The power is in the hands of the outsourcing firm.
Yes, and this outsource company, why are they doing this? They are doing this because the companies, they don't want to have these workers to have a permanent employment. They can be using this outsource work or contract work to intimidate these workers and to do anti-labor activities against them. They will tell them that, you are a contract worker, you cannot join union. The Ministry of Labor now, the minister have already signed that gazette that even if you're a contract worker now, you can join the union, you can be unionized. So let everybody know that for good. So
all
that
right.
they should not continue to cheat them. They should not continue to take all those their rights and privileges away from them.
Okay.
So what I'm saying in essence is that, let us start from the agencies that are supposed to be in charge of all these activities. I don't know whether they have gone into this slumber or probably it's because of corruption. But they should stop doing this. It is in this country. You see those who are supposed to stop people at our border and send them back to where they are coming from. They will connive and they collect money and allow them to come into this country. It is in this country you will see a construction company where they will be treating those who are, even less qualified than our people. They will treat them better than our people.
I'm telling you.
It is in this country you see those who does not even have any knowledge. You see some of the companies where they bring their own people to come and be a supervisor. Who are you supervising? Some of our people, they have gone into this company to take up these menial jobs because they don't have any employment. Some of them are master's degree holder. Even we have some PhD holders who are now doing menial jobs. And you now bring somebody who does not have qualification than those of the locals,
just because they have because they have a white skin. Well, let's quickly go back.
Yeah, to supervise them, to be treating them like slaves in their own country. This is an opportunity for them. When they shut their gate, you don't know what happens behind those gates.
Yes, of course. Let's go back to the phone lines right now.
People come out to talk to us, unless they come out to talk.
And that's why we're opening the phone lines to Lagosians, Nigerians. Let's talk. Do we have a caller there? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from VI.
What's your name?
I want to remain no.
What's your name? Anonymous?
Yes, sir.
All right, please go ahead. Make your comment.
Please, you see, the problem we have in this country is corruption. Corruption. Nigeria Customs or Immigration officers, they are not really honest. That's just the truth. See, I'll give an information. They just come to landmark here and see what is going on. And I'll tell you for free. Nigerians are really suffering. Come to Landmark here. Come to where the restaurant here. Find out where the staff sleeps.
Well, what location? What location are you mentioning now? Landmark in Lagos.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. The NLC is taking note. Yeah.
Find where the staff sleeps. Find where with the food, the beds, the welfare, and most of the Indians they don't have the accurate documents. Are they paying tax in Nigeria fully? Find out. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that. I guess, comrade, take note of that. I said landmark in Lagos that some restaurants around there are really having anti-labor activities. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Adewale. I'm calling from Ojo.
Adewale from Ojo. Okay, Adewale, please quickly make your comment.
Please, there's something I want to say. You know, it is easier said than done. You asked the NLC coordinator, I think, for Lagos State now. You asked her a question, and she was like, you asked her, do they go to check how is the citizens of Nigeria feeling in these expatriate companies here in Nigeria? And she was like, no, that is only of. There are some people who can't speak up due to fear of losing their jobs. There are some people who can't speak up due to fear of losing their jobs. There's no job security anywhere. I do not want to use myself for instance. Let me use myself for instance now. I've been at home now for a year. I had an accident on official duty in a football match. I'm a contractor of that same company. Before they could raise my money for surgery, it took about 5 months. My right leg, I had a femur bone. My right leg has been shortened due to that delay during the operation. And yet, they are telling me they could not put me on a payroll. How do I feed? How do I feed my family? They stop my salary. Later, they will tell me the complaint is this thing, the complaint is that one. They said there is one federal government, what they talk for federal government, I think NSITF or so. I don't know. They said they are going to compensate me. But how do I feed my family? What are the compensations? I still do everything virtually for myself. Even in the same salary that, the stipend salary that I still collect, I'm still the one that will pay for drugs. I'm still the one that will pay for this. I'm still the one that will pay for that. You don't see that happening in their country over there. Most times, it's not the fault of the government, but the fault of the agency the government created. They are not working. They are not working at all. They are not working. The government has put money there, put people, individuals there who fail to do their work. Do I need to go and be meeting the president of Nigeria to tell him that, oh, this is what happened to me on so day? This is the 11th, this is the 12th year, the 12th month I've been at home. How do I feed my family? They will pay the rest of the people's salary the same day. They will delay mine because they want me to feel that they are doing me a favor. That, oh, we paid you this month, or next month, do not be expecting salary, oh, we are working on your compensation. You know, this thing is also absurd. It's also absurd. I'm hearing the minister talking. I don't know if she's representing the Lagos State chapter of the NLC. When did you start having a contractor? I just saw it online. About, I think, a month now. It was implemented last month. When the contractors start having, do we need to die before they start to make the sun shine? Do we need to die? Do we need to perish? This thing should have been done since. You will see people, you will train, they will bring people from outside, you will train them on the job. People who are less qualified than you, they become your boss.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
You want to talk, they threaten you. You want to speak, they threaten you. And even this Lagos, this party now, they done for food, this and then labor, what's it called, the union thing she just spoke about. Should I tell you, it's still controlled by the internal staff who are not the contract staff. It will still be controlled by the internal staff. You don't have a state, you're just a figurehead there, being a member. So these things are happening, and that's why you see that people want to jackpot to other places, that the government are working, the government agents are working. They are not going there to go and be happy, to abandon their family here in Africa.
Right.
These things working, they will do well here. Why should I go and stay in court because I want to make money?
Thank you very much for your comment there. Let me come down to our barrister. Barrister, are you there?
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard comments of Nigerians on this issue of anti-labor activities. Now, let's take, for example, I call out there, when there are incidents like that on the job, what does the law says in regards to people like that, in regards to incidents like that? What does the law has to do? What does the law has to guide individuals like that?
Okay. There are two aspects to it. There is the civil aspect, and also there is the criminal aspect. Now, some of I mentioned earlier on that the need for Nigeria to have an industrial policy that will take care of the working environment. Okay, I know there used to be the Factory Act, which is almost defunct now, it's not in existence as of today, that regulates and govern the working environment, the use of machines and technology in such a way that it will not be injurious to human health. Okay, technologies that expose human workers to harm or to injuries, are prohibited. And also issues that relates to safety of the working environment, where workers are working, are expected to work. It must be safe enough. There are guidelines, some of the equipment that must be provided, facilities that must be provided for workers to meaningfully carry out their duties. All of these that will be instituted in any factory or in any company where you find that there are flagrant disrespect and abuse of those laws by most of these expatriates, these so-called expatriates. Most of their company, the kind of technology they use are such that exposes Nigerians to a lot of harm and injury to their health, some of the environment, the kind of gases that they use.
So when these injuries happen, what entitlements do they have by law?
Yes, of course, the person that has been injured has a right to maintain a legal action against the company for damages and also for compensation.
Even if they are contract staff?
Yes, even if they are contract, it's of no consequence that they are not contract staff. Okay, it's of no consequence. They have that right so long as they are working for the company and they right to take a legal action in damages against the company. That is the civil aspect. There are also those who are the managers and directors of that company that are injury to the public, to members of the public, have actually violated the laws of Nigeria. Okay, and those kind of companies can be shut down, and the people in charge of those companies, managing directors, can be prosecuted, and they also be prosecuted actually. But you find that most of these laws are in breach. Usually, most of these expatriates, they breach those laws with the connivance of the police, of course. There are some of the police departments, some of the police units, stations that are on the payroll of some of these foreigners, like all these Lebanese, the Chinese, go there regularly to collect, monthly allocations and all of that. So when issues arise and they are supposed to protect Nigerian citizens or the workers, they just look the other way. Okay, or they try to intimidate the Nigerians, as against the foreigners. There are cases of Nigerians that made reports at the police station, and instead of the police acting or prosecuting, they protect those foreigners because of what they benefit from those companies. So we have all of these challenges facing the Nigerian workers, as against these foreign, these so-called expatriates.
All right, now let me come
I think that they need. Yes.
Now let me come to the chairman. Comrade, are you there?
Yes, please.
Comrade, you were trying to make comment on the landmark issues where our caller raised. One or two?
Okay, thank you. Though there is so much noise from one side that always, disturb me from really grasping all that is said, but I only try to, struggle to. So that was the reason why I was asking that at the landmark,
Yeah.
because I also go to landmark and I see a lot of all these foreigners, they come and unwind, to come and swim. So I was asking that, are they employees of landmark or they come there to come and unwind? So that was the question. But let me also, quickly make some point around what Barrister just said last.
Okay.
About when people have injury at their working place.
Okay.
Nigeria, my country. This country, we need to make all the laws and regulations are there already. But we need to strengthen our institutions. We need to strengthen our laws, our policies, and we also need to ensure that we employ people who are skillful, who are mindful of their work. Most of the time, the way in which we also recruit people in Nigeria, we recruit them based on their affiliation to people, based on the reward system, based on, somebody, okay, this is our person, put this person in that office. And that person does not even know what to do in most instances. They go there to go and think about, let me go and make money in that office. We should depart from all those kind of things. We should be ready to make our system to work. Because the system works in America, because the United Kingdom system, it works. That is why our people are going there. If their own system did not work, they will not go there. And that is why they are having lawful system, no lawlessness. You must obey their law. Everybody must do the right thing and at the right time. So nobody is above law there. We have occupational safety and health in this country. Even in countries like in Arab countries like Qatar, like Dubai, the occupational safety and health in companies, you must have that department where on daily basis, that occupational safety and health department is the one that we account for all the workers that come into that company in the morning. They have to ensure that they come in healthy. Are you okay? So you don't have any reports, or probably, if there are reports about their health issues, they ask them to go to the health facility to take care of their health. And they also ensure that their machine or machineries work perfectly. Somebody who is not supposed to man a particular machine, don't leave your own space to go to another person's space. Then all the equipments and the gears, that's the gears that they need to wear, probably at the site or in the factory or in the company. They will wear the right gear. Somebody that's supposed to put on helmet, somebody that's supposed to wear boots, they have to do that. And they have to ensure that they use the right thing to do their work. And when it is time for them to have break, it is still the same occupational safety and health that will ensure that. Do they ensure all this happen? We used to have a monitoring parastatal agency. And we also used to have for Ministry of Labor.
That's where I was going to.
There is a particular department that's supposed to go to all these factories. But when you complain from the federal ministry now, when you complain to them now that do you do it, they will say that when they don't have allocation for transportation to go there, when federal government does not allocate money, will they use their own personal salary to go and be doing monitoring? And you know that things have gone so awry and so wrong to the extent that people think that when they even go to those factories, when they give them brown envelope, that is when the whole exercise ends.
So
That's
so
why
why
it
so
ends.
why is the Labour not calling out this the Labour Incorporation, the agencies in government that are responsible for routine checks in all of this organization?
Last year Workers' Day, it was part of our speech, NSC Lagos State speech, that government should ensure that they go after all the agencies of government that are supposed to monitoring agencies, that they have to go to companies, factories, parastatals agencies, that they're supposed to even turn in their yearly tax, everything, their yearly, what do they call it? So they need to go into these factories. It happened about 2 years ago when a child of 14-year-old died in a company around Obakra in Ogba. We made so much noise about it that child labor, some of these companies are also doing child labor.
So bad.
They will allow these, children to come into the factory to come and, work for hours. And some of these work are works that are tedious. We have seen cases where they lost their bodily parts. And we have to fight and fight. In some of these cases, when they bring this report to us that they lost their bodily parts, you won't be surprised that some of the people that will come out and fight against NSC, they are still Nigerians. That these foreigners will go and bring. They will bring lawyer. Somebody will come and be posting, I'm a lawyer to the company. I'm this, I'm that. Then I always wash them down. That if you are a lawyer to that company, you are a Nigerian. That's a Nigerian like you. Look at what has happened to that person. I don't want to hear anything. Then there will be fight, there will be issues.
Because of our time.
Before we'll be able to resolve, we will take ourselves to Ministry of Labour at Ikoyi. And at the end of the day, that's where we'll resolve. But government need to strengthen all their, agencies. Government need to allocate some money, funds to this ministry, to these people, so that they can go and do their oversight work. Maybe they allocate money for National Assembly. They allocate money for senators to do their oversight work. Let them allocate money to all these ministries and the agencies and the departments.
Quickly, because of our time,
comrade. The due diligence.
Comrade, quickly, because of our time, we understand that today you'll be having meetings with the government in Lagos State and also probably the governor too. What is in store for Nigerians ahead of Workers' Day tomorrow?
Thank you. This year's theme is about the workers reclaiming the civic space in the midst of economic hardship. How do we reclaim the civic space? We need to do so much to ensure that the gap, this is part of reclaiming the civic space. The quota for Nigerians, unqualified foreigners are now taking it.
Okay. Well, quickly,
it is part of reclaiming the civic space. Even in the midst of this economic crisis, some of our children, some of Nigerians, they don't have job. They are unemployed.
So it's just
the kind of work they give to them is to come and be riding, to be a taxi driver, to do all sorts of menial jobs in our country.
All right, thank you very much.
So that the foreigners will come and supervise them.
Comrade,
we want to reclaim the civic space.
All right, reclaiming
we are going to talk about that on Thursday.
All right, thank you very much, comrade. We're just out of time right now. We have to go. And that's the chairman NLC in Lagos, Comrade Fumi Sase. Thank you very much for your time this morning, comrade. And also,
thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Please pass the information to the governor and the government of the day and all what is happening in anti-labor activism.